Why do people not know that vitamin D deficiency can increase dementia risk by 80%? Why do people not know that having a lack of this mineral is affecting their long-term risk of cancer? Why do people not know that having a low omega-3 index is as bad for you in terms of mortality as smoking? And as a scientist, I've seen firsthand that 70% of the way you're aging is actually due to your lifestyle.
Clip from The Diary of a CEO, an episode that has got almost 2 million views in just a couple of days. I highly recommend that you check it out. It blew my mind. So of course I wanted to bring it to you, Strategic Basic fans, because this is one of those rare episodes that after I watched it, I actually changed 4 things that I'm doing. 4 things that to help me be peak performer, be on top of my game, and I thought you would like to know this as well. So what this episode is going to talk about is the peak performance secrets of leaders and why the top CEOs are obsessing over these 4 science-backed strategies. So if you check out The Diary of a CEO, it's a 3-hour episode, so it's a bit long, and so I'm going to just condense the most important points that stood out to me and how I immediately changed after watching this video just a couple of days ago. I changed my workout routine, I changed my supplementation routine, and already I feel stronger and better. Here's what stood out to me. There's so many things that we can do to stay on top of our game, and yet it's so easy not to do them. For example, after listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick in this Diary of a CEO episode, I realized, you know what, it's not enough to go jogging. It's not enough to go to the gym. I actually work out almost every day. But what stood out to me, or one of the many things that stood out to me, is I have to push myself. So I went and played pickleball this morning with my son. And yes, I definitely got sweat up, and that's going to increase my VO2 max, and it's going to probably increase my longevity. So that's just one of several things that I took action on right away, and you can as well. So I personally changed my my workouts, working out harder, pushing myself harder. I realized, she said that 70% of Americans are vitamin D deficient. So I make daily sunshine or vitamin D priority. I also sometimes, don't take a bath because I think, oh, I'm wasting time. Ridiculous. It's really important to go to a sauna or have a hot bath. So I started having Epsom salt baths for recovery. Super pleasant. Why don't I do that? So I started doing that because of this information from Dr. Rhonda Patrick, and prioritized omega-3s, so either eating wild salmon or fish oil. Okay, let's get into the details. This is Strategic Basics. I'm Aurora Winter, and at Strategic Basics, I do my very best, my team and I do our best to bring you breaking news stories that you can turn into business breakthroughs that will help you earn more income and have a greater impact. And I'm already feeling stronger from just doing these minor things, so I think you'll find this episode of Strategic Basics super useful. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe, or maybe share with a friend who could benefit as well. And just before we get into the details, obviously, this is not health advice. It's high performance strategy. It's backed by evidence. It's already used by world-class CEOs and thinkers. We're talking about cognitive endurance, resilience, and clear decision making. Everybody needs that, especially thought leaders, CEOs, and people who are challenging themselves. So I really recommend that we dig into this. But of course, if you're going to change anything, check with your doctor and do your own research. The links are going to be in the description, so you can check out Dr. Rhonda Patrick and you can check out Diary of a CEO. There's also going to be some links to the actual data that this is based upon, courtesy of Dr. Rhonda Patrick. So let's get into this. All right, so 4 key things from the 3-hour episode. I'm going to break down the 4 things that I changed right away, which is kind of amazing, right? Because I listen to a lot of stuff. I don't always change. I think, oh, that was interesting. But do I take action? Not usually. But 4 things I changed after listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick. 1, creatine. I couldn't believe it. Creatine is not just about building muscle. I was occasionally taking creatine before working out at the gym, but I was very haphazard about it. But listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she said creatine is not just about building muscle, it supports your brain. I need my brain. We all need our brain. And she also cited a study where 25 to 35 grams of creatine reversed cognitive decline after 21 hours without sleep. So what is this saying? It's saying if you are not getting enough sleep, if you were perhaps you're jet lagged, consider the possibility of supplementing with creatine. I was taking just 5 grams of creatine a day when I thought about it. And now I've upped my dosage to 10 grams. And already I think I'm feeling better. I'm feeling sharper. Maybe it's a nocebo or placebo effect. But anyway, something you might want to consider. Creatine may buffer executive function under pressure. We're all under stress these days, so that may help you. And again, obviously this is not medical advice. Check with your healthcare provider and do your own research. Links in the description. All right, the second thing that stood out to me after creatine was this amazing study that Dr. Rhonda Patrick cited, a study done in Dallas, that 3 weeks of bed rest created a 27% decline in cardiorespiratory fitness. Wow, that was a huge thing. But that wasn't even the most shocking thing about this study. They studied the same people, they revisited the same people 30 years later, and 30 years later, that 30 years of aging only reduced their fitness by 12% as opposed to where they had been before the bed rest when they were 30 years younger. So this just blew me away. That was such a shocking statistic. So it just goes to show, if you're ill or somebody you know is ill or you have a broken leg or for whatever reason you have to take a bed rest, that actually is a big risk. And it also, the reverse is true. Physical activity can be very helpful even if you just go for a walk. A little bit more about the pushing ourselves. I guess it doesn't really go with the 3-week bed rest exactly, but the other thing that stood out to me from listening to this Diary of a CEO episode is that it's only about, if memory serves me right, 50% likely that you're going to be increasing your health and your VO2 max if you work out moderately. And I've been working out moderately. I go to the gym frequently, but I'm usually distracted. I'm listening to a podcast or taking notes about the next Strategic Basics episodes. To be honest, I often research episodes while I'm working out, which means I'm not pushing myself hard enough. So now I realize, Aurora, you're going to spend all that time at the gym. Let's make it count. So I have to push myself. Hence, I play pickleball with my son. He gave me a good run for my money this morning. And also, she cited a simple example of 4-minute sprint, 4 minutes walk by 4 sets. So the 4x4 plan. I think 4 minutes of sprint is not where I'm going to start. Maybe I'll start with 30 seconds or 1 minute of sprint and, gradually build up to 4 minutes of sprint. I'm pretty good. I could jog 2 miles without stopping, but I couldn't sprint for 2 miles. I'll check in with you. Check in with me a year from now. So we'll see. So for myself, I noticed that even after playing pickleball with my son this morning, I felt more upbeat, more confidence. I felt my brain was sharper. Maybe it was just the day, but something that you might want to consider as well. Push yourself harder and certainly don't lounge about for 3 weeks or you could be very disappointed with your cardiorespiratory fitness going down. All right, the third thing that stood out to me from this wonderful episode is about vitamin D. So Dr. Rhonda Patrick emphasized that up to 70% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D, which means probably I am and perhaps you are as well. And then she drove this home by saying that low vitamin D increases dementia risk by up to 80%. I'm like, forget that. No way. I'm taking vitamin D or getting my sunshine. So, check with your doctor at optimal levels. But if you're indoors most of the day, or if it's the winter time, or if you're in Australia now, because it's the summer in Los Angeles where I am, but that means it's winter in Australia, check your vitamin D levels. So for myself, I'm in LA, so it's easy to get sunshine, but I can't always wear, number 50 sunscreen, or I'm going to be blocking that healthy sunlight. So I take vitamin D3 supplements. And because of this episode, that's why I wanted to share it with you, my dear friends on Strategic Basic fans. I wanted to share it with you because I know some of this stuff, but I get just kind of casual about taking my vitamin D, kind of casual about taking my fish oils. They're in the fridge. I just don't think of it. And after listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick go on and on with all of the passion and all of the science, I'm like, okay, this is a must-do for me. And maybe you want to consider this too. So this is about protecting our cognitive performance You could call it biohacking, but I think it's just like, let's take care of our brains so that we can do a good job and, make a big difference in our business and with our family and with our friends and grow old gracefully, not all hobbly. All right. The fourth thing I wanted to share with you is just the omega-3s. So after listening to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, I really shifted from seeing like omega-3s as kind of a nice to have, but a need to have. So that I need to take them, I need to eat fish and or take high omega-3s. It can be linked to up to 5 years increased life expectancy. Wow, that was very cool. And a lower cardiovascular risk. Links in the description below if you want to take a deeper dive and get all of the data. Or also Dr. Rhonda Patrick has a wonderful YouTube channel that you can get more information there. But I wanted to give you the highlights at Strategic Basics here. Because one of the basic things is take care of your health. If you don't have your health, you don't have any kind of wealth. All right. So omega-3s support inflammation control. They support mental sharpness. A Harvard study indicated that a low seafood intake could be, or low omega-3 could be one of the most preventable causes of death. So let's skip that. Anyway, I'm adding the fish oil supplementation more regularly now. I've already run out of fish oils. I have to order some. Again, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, as Tim Ferriss would probably say. However, I am an entrepreneur, and I do want to be healthy, and I want to be sharp mentally. So I really wanted to bring this episode to you. So what are the takeaways for thought leaders? Your body is the engine behind your message, behind your business, and your brain is your most valuable asset in your leadership and business and life. So a couple of things you may want to do. Move daily. If you're already quite fit, push yourself. If you've been kind of sedentary, just get out for a walk in nature. Even 10, 20, 30 minutes every day walking in nature, you'll gradually improve your health. And the benefit of getting out, we call it forest bathing. If you're walking in nature, walking in the forest, it protects your brain, strengthens your heart, increases endurance. Walk with a friend, and that'll also increase your connection. Another action, check your D3 and omega-3 levels. Vitamin D is necessary for our health and well-being, and vitamin D and omega-3 have been shown scientifically to support clear thinking and reduce cognitive decline. Consider creatine. I just get this from Amazon. I'm not related to this company whatsoever. It's not even that expensive. And apparently creatine boosts resilience under stress, and it can help mitigate the problems associated with sleep loss. And I don't know if you're tossing and turning, or you have a baby, or your spouse is ill, it's easy not to get enough sleep, especially if you're pushing yourself hard. So in that case, try a little bit more, or a lot more creatine than you're normally taking. I've doubled my dose to 10 milligrams. Not a doctor, but that seems to be working quite nicely for me to both help my body and my mind. And I'm taking Epsom salts baths regularly before I go to bed. It's a nice way to unwind, and it's pleasant. If you put the Epsom salts, you're getting your magnesium, and magnesium is another key part of health. And heat is very helpful for health. I wish I had a sauna. I don't have a sauna, convenient to me, but I do have a bath, so I could do the bath. And you may have a sauna, but you probably have a bath, or at least a hot shower, right? So final thoughts here in this episode of Strategic Basics. Elite leaders don't just work harder, they recover smarter. So they prioritize sleep, they prioritize taking care of themselves, like with a hot bath. Another thought is that success isn't just about supplements, it's about strategy, it's about consistency. You want to have a strategy for staying sharp, energized, and fully present. And you want to track how these things work for you. Everybody's body is different. And of course, get a medical test so that you know what you may be deficient in and what is the most important thing for your body. This worked for my body, and I really hope this was helpful for you. If you liked this episode, please like and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend who might appreciate this information. And again, I'm Aurora Winter. I'm a TV writer, producer, best-selling author of several books, including Turn Words into Wealth. I hope this episode has made a difference to you. And if it did, please like and subscribe. It makes a world of difference to me and my team. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.